Most people decide to hunt when the weather is nice and the sun is shining and the animals are moving. But here lately, Georgia's decided to give us rain. Lots of it. You may not be able to change the weather, but if you don't go at all, I can assure you, you won't kill anything. It'd be shorter if I just said I killed a 10-point buck, or a turkey with an 1.5-inch spurs, or in this case, a 250-plus pound boar, and posted a video about it. But I believe that every hunt has a story, a beginning and an end, and all the in-betweens. Otherwise, it just becomes a trophy collection, and you miss the joy most of us have found in the sport. In this case, a local farmer had noticed some hog activity in his pastures. If you've ever baled hay, you know what a disaster hogs can cause on a hayfield. So it didn't take me long to get a feeder and camera out and see what might pay us a visit. I placed a feeder and camera out on the 5th, and over the next 5 days saw the usual squirrels, rabbits, occasional deer, and plenty of wild turkey. Up until this point, the hogs had either moved out or just not found the small bits of succulent golden deliciousness. Then on the morning of the 10th, we saw this. This fellow showed up right before daylight and feasted for about an hour and a half. Knowing the tendencies of hogs, I suspected he would show up for dinner that night. My grandfather supposes that every day is Saturday, except for Sundays, of course, so he tagged along for the evening hunt. Unfortunately for us, our hog had arrived while we were still making our way to the property and vanished before we stalked up to the feeder. Along the way we were intercepted by 3 hogs. I was able to pick off the largest sow, which was in the 200-plus range. However, the main target was still at large. He didn't come back on the 11th, but was back for more on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. And on the 15th, he came back for his last bit of corn and scratching the itch. Luckily for us, this was the day we would set up and wait on him. With a forerunner big enough to sleep in, my grandfather and I laid the seats down and kicked back out of the rain in the middle of the cattle pasture. Over the next few hours, we saw a group of deer feeding in the pasture. They became our neighbors, having bedded down about 50 yards from us. Some moved closer and didn't seem to mind a shiny white vehicle with 2 goofs in it peeking around with thermals. It wasn't long after this we had a couple of coyotes pay us a visit, but they didn't stay long. And then finally, my phone buzzed. A rabbit. And then a deer. And finally, the hog we'd been waiting on. Being 300 to 400 yards away from the feeder, we got in gear and began to move. Along the way we encountered these 2 guys moving about in the field, and at this point I had to decide if 2 in the field was worth more than 1 in the bush I'd been waiting on. Since my phone was buzzing every 30 seconds in my pocket with new pictures of the boar, let the 2 smaller pigs go.
I'm just gonna wait and get big boy.
This was the first time these guys had found my feeder. You'll see in the next portion of the video and tell just how small they are compared to him. Turns out, I dropped him within the frame of my camera, and at this moment, I made use of the real-time photo functionality of my camera app. Just goes to show that patience pays off. Even though it was rainy and nasty out, we were still able to make a move on this hog and get the job done. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.